So we are listening about 8th chapter, Madalila. And then Ramananda was with brahmanas who follow all the rules and regulations, and he went to take bath in Godavari, and then Mahaprabhu met with Raya Ramananda. So in the context of this Katha, we heard how Mahaprabhu embraced Raya Ramananda. Many kinds of bhavas appeared, and then after that Mahaprabhu, he concealed his bhava because they were brahmanas, karma kandiya, Vedic brahmanas. So seeing Mahaprabhu like this, they thought, why a sannyasi is embracing a shudra? They were thinking. And like, Raya Ramananda was so calm and quiet, and also why Raya Ramananda, who is so intelligent person, is crying while embracing a sannyasi. So we heard about this yesterday. So both were manifesting so much humility. So Mahaprabhu is saying, hey Raya Ramananda, you are an Uttam Bhagavat. Actually, I already heard your glories from Sarvabhaumabhatacharya. Sorry. Mahaprabhu told to Raya Ramananda, I already heard your glories from Sarvabhaumabhatacharya.
রামানন্দ কহে প্রভু ঈশা হাসিয়া তোমার মুখে কৃষ্ণ কথা শুনিতে হয় মন পুনরবি পাই যেন তোমার দর্শন রায় কহে আইলা যদি পামরে সরিতে দর্শন মাত্রে শুদ্ধ নহে মোর চিত দুষ্ট চিত্তে
Ramananda humbly is saying, hey Prabhu, when you came here to give darshan, my heart is not purified only by seeing you. Actually, my heart will be purified if I listen to your Harikatha. That's why. Although Shastra explains, if we see a Vaishnava, all our sins and all of the dirt that we have in our hearts will go away if we see a Vaishnava. What is the quality of the Vaishnava? Only by seeing him we become pure. So he's saying, my heart is hard like a stone. So it's not possible only to be purified only by seeing you. I also need to listen to your katha.
दिन 5-7 रही करह मार्जन तबे शुद्ध হয় মোর এই দুষ্ট মন যদ্যপি বিচ্ছেদ তোমার সহনে না যায় প্রভু দণ্ডবোধ করে চলিলা রাম রায় প্রভু যায় সেই প্রিয় ঘরে ভিক্ষা কইল দুই জনার উৎকণ্ঠা রাতি সন্ধ্যা হইল প্রভু স্নান কৃত্য করি আছেন বসিয়া এক বৃত্তে সঙ্গে রায় লীলা
So like this, Mahaprabhu and Raya Ramananda, they are very eager to meet with each other.
उत्कंठा ही एक दूसरे के मिलाते हैं.
Actually, the eagerness make them meet with each other. Do you know what is utkanta? What is utkanta? Is your strong desire, your desire, your mind desire is very strong. So first you start thinking about that thing in your mind, and then after thinking, your heart becomes full of utkanta, full of this eagerness. So in the same way, it's a transcendental thing. Raya Ramananda is not a normal human being, and Mahaprabhu, he is Swayam Bhagavan, he is God. So the meeting of Bhakta and Bhagavan, God and his devotee, when does it take place? When the devotee has so much eagerness, thinking about God, then Bhagavan cannot tolerate. Then Bhagavan wants to meet the devotee. And also at this moment, Yogamaya arranges something. What? Sandhya means? This moment comes. For the meeting. For example, Mahaprabhu, you know, Trisandhya, these three junctions of the day. What is Trisandhya? Like we take bath and do other things like chanting Gayatri Mantra 3 times a day. This is also called Sandhya. Sandhya. It's like taking bath and doing the Gayatri. In the 3 junctions of the day. So just chanting Gayatri Mantra also can be called Sandhya. So what you do every day? For example, cleaning yourself and taking bath. The rules for chanting Gayatri Mantra. Then after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda, they went to a solitary place and sat down. Where both of them met? Where did they meet? In which place did they meet?
Ramananda Prabhu Ishata Hasiya. एक वैदिक वैष्णव ब्राह्मण के गृह.
So they met in the house of a Vedic Vaishnava Brahmana. Means in the house of a Brahmana, following all the rules of Vedas. Vedic Brahmana. So yes, in the bank of the Ganges, but inside the house of a Brahmana they met.
दंडवत करी गए प्रभु निमन हेनकाली वैदिक एक वैष्णव ब्राह्मण दंडवत करी गए प्रभु निमंत्रण मंडलकारी वैष्णव जनिया रामानंद कहे प्रभु ईशत हासिया तुम्हार मुखे कृष्ण कथा सुनिते मन होय पुनर्वि पाई जेन तुम्हार दर्शन. प्रभु सांकीर्त करी आसन बसिया एक भक्त संग जाय मिलिल आसिया नमस्कार कइल राय प्रभु कइला लिंगने दुई जनेर कथा कही रही स्थाने बहुत सुंदर सुरम्य स्थान भी है.
So it was a very beautiful place, in the banks of the river Godavari. So the house of the brahmana was very close by.
प्रभु कहे परश्लोक साध्य नय राय के सधर्म चरणे विष्णु भक्ति है. महाप्रभु कहने लगे,
Mahaprabhu told,
प्रभु कहे परश्लोक श्लोक पाठ को.
Read the shloka, means tell the shlokas.
साध्य निर्णय करने के लिए कहने लगे जिसमें शास्त्रीय विचार भी चाहिए.
So everything you say should be based, like having the basis of the Vedas.
शास्त्रीय वचन जो कुछ भी कहोगे,
whatever you say, Mahaprabhu is telling Ramananda,
शास्त्र से
you have to give evidence from the Shastras.
इसलिए प्रभु कहे परश्लोक साध्य निर्माण. अर्थात शास्त्र विधिवत होना चाहिए.
Everything should be.
प्रश्न भी यथार्थ हो, उत्तर भी.
So the good question, perfect answer.
क्योंकि शास्त्र में लिखा गया.
Because Shastra explains, the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says,
जो विधि शास्त्र के विधि परित्याग पूर्वक जो शास्त्र विधि
if the person doesn't follow the rules of the Vedas,
न सिद्धिम आपनोति न सुखम न पराम गतिम. अर्थात जो शास्त्र विधि के छोड़ करके,
so not following the Vedic injunctions,
अपने इच्छा के अनुसार नियम आदि पालन,
if you follow everything according to your own whim, according to your own desire, you'll not get happiness in this life, not also in the next life. You cannot even get the perfection also. So there's a shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So you have to follow the rules of the Vedas.
तस्मात् शास्त्र प्रमाणम ते कार्य अकार्य व्यवस्थितो. शास्त्र की विधि की लेकर भी चलना.
So you have to follow always the rules of the Shastras.
राग मार्गे करान प्रवेश. जिस विधि मार्ग लेकर के चलते हैं.
So those who are following the Vidhi-marga, the rules and regulations of the scriptures, slowly, also by listening the Braja Madhurya Katha, the sweetness pastimes of Braja from the lotus sleep of bona fide sadhu, Brajarasik sadhu, then in your heart a greed will come, lobha. Then when this lobha manifests, slowly, you'll be able to enter Raga Marga, the path of spontaneous devotion towards the Lord. Because Raga Marga is also called Lobha Marga, so the path of the greed. So when you see something or hear about something, you become greedy about that thing. For example, if you see a beautiful or delicious mango, then you will have in your heart the desire to eat, like the greed to eat that mango. So to eat that mango, you need to get money, to buy the mango. You will not steal the mango. So that's why you must get money. What is the meaning? To eat mango, these are goal. And to sing the mango, you felt lobha, means the greed. So when your greed comes, then you try to what? To get money to buy the mango, to get the mango, isn't it? So in the same way, if somebody has greed when listening Braj Katha, okay, but greed is not enough. You still need to do the sadhan, means the process, not what thing, what you wanted to get. Without sadhana, you cannot get the sadha, means your goal. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives an example. Suppose somebody has eagerness to drink milk. Okay, but you must buy a cow, for example. Then you have to get a cow, you have to take care of the cow. Every day you have to, feed the cow, milk, everything. Then this cow will give milk, isn't it? So in the same way, even though you have the greed, you cannot get your goal. You still need to do the sadhana, the practice. So what is the sadhavastu? What is the goal? It's prema, Krishna prema. Dharma, artha, kama and moksha. This is not the topmost goal for the living entities. What is the topmost goal for the living entities? The ultimate goal for the living entities. What is charam sadhya, means ultimate goal? Is the topmost or the highest goal. Is Krishna prem. Because dharma, artha and kama, this is called trivarga, three goals of the human life. Religiosity, economic development and sense gratification. Trivarga. But this dharma, artha, kama, they are not eternal. They are not eternal. Moksha also, liberation is not the highest goal for the living entity. To merge in Brahma, this is not the dharma or the nature of the soul. That's why Acharyas explained that those who want mukti, those who want to merge in Brahma, this is one kind of punishment they're getting. Just like somebody who is doing something wrong, someone evil is punished. And this way this person can be like calmed down. For example, there's an animal who is too much agitated. Imagine how to control an animal who is agitated and like so much agitated. No, you have to beat the animal. Then the animal will be calmed down. If you don't beat the animal will not be controlled, so you must beat the animal so the animal can be shut down. Shut down. No, can be calm down. So dharma, artha, kama and moksha. These are not actually the purusharthas, means the goal of the human life. And you cannot find eternal happiness in them as well. It's only temporary happiness. Tatkalik sukha means temporary happiness. By wealth, by money, you cannot be happy as well. Money doesn't bring happiness. Actually, this happiness... Look, if money would bring happiness, why Ravana? What happened with Ravana? You see, Ravana had so much money. He did so many bad things, even though he had so much money. Like he kidnapped the wife of others, wasn't it? Sometimes our wealth also the money makes us go to the path of unrighteousness. Like money takes us to the path of unrighteousness. Like for example, if you have so much money, then also you have so much lust and anger, and you become contaminated. Also you become also so much eager for name, fame, reputation, and then this actually is bringing you to the hell. Money also. That's why if you want to do Bhagavad Bhajan, you should be niskinchan akinchan, doing bhajan. Like, I think translation of akinchan and niskinchan, I think it's like without any desire. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. So, like in the Bhagavatam, we have the story of Nalakuvera and Manigriva. Dhanakuvera had two sons, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. So they were completely intoxicated because of the wealth that the father had. And even this Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they insulted or dishonored Narada Rishi, who is a great saint. You know the story. What is the context of this Harikatha? Do you know the story of this Harikatha? Do you know the story of Nalakuvera and Manigriva? Okay, so tell me. So they were the two sons of Dhanakuvera. Nalakuvera and Manigriva, two sons of Dhanakuvera. Okay, why this Dhanakuvera had so much money? Actually, because he got from Shivaji. There's one story in the Puranas explaining this. That this Dhanakuvera, previous life, he worshipped Shiva. Shivaji. And then by the mercy of Shiva, he got money, wealth. There's a story saying that he was a thief. Who? This Kuvera. He was a thief in the previous life. And then one day stealing, like going somewhere, he couldn't find any money, like he couldn't steal anything. He was like, and it was the time of Shiva Chaturdashi, day of Lord Shiva. So he could not get any money that day. So, but in the day of Shiva Chaturdashi, people offer water to Shiva. And there was one like pot hanging from the top of Shiva, continuous dropping water on the top of Shiva. Like dropping water on Lord Shiva. So everybody, it was already very late, so everybody had already left the temple. So Kuvera, as a thief, so he was a thief, and he came there and he saw, and he tried to take that pot, like metal pot, hanging from the top of Lord Shiva. He thought, at least I'll get something. So, but it was very high, this hanging on the ceiling. So he stepped on Lord Shiva to try to get the metal pot. But then Shivaji appeared and said, "Ask for a blessing. Ask for a benediction." Then he said, "Today is Shiva Chaturdashi." Shiva told, "Today everybody offers to me Ganga water and bell leaves, but nobody offers themselves to me. Nobody had offered himself. So Shivaji, so merciful, he said, "Okay, so I will fulfill all your desires. You want wealth, so I'll give you." So later he became like the treasury, responsible for the treasury of Swargaloka, Kuvera. So this Kuvera had two sons, Nalakuvera and Manigriva. So he was completely intoxicated by his wealth. So he was having like life without any rule, not following any rule in his life. He was completely intoxicated with the wealth of his father. He was beautiful, also like he was handsome. Both kids, sons of Kuvera, they were very handsome and also very knowledgeable. They had so much knowledge. They were also born in a high family, isn't it? Like a good birth. So there is one sloka in Shastra saying that if you have 4 things, you cannot do proper bhajan of Lord. What are the 4 things? So first is if you are born in a high family, or like good family, aristocracy, etc. Or if you have money, if you're too beautiful or too handsome, and if you have too much knowledge. So it's very difficult to do bhajan if you have these four qualities so much. So they started misusing the money. For example, they used to use their wealth to enjoy with the prostitutes. One day, these two brothers, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they were drunk, actually drunk also in their lust, and they were with some prostitutes playing in the water. And then at that moment Narada Rishi came there, and seeing Narada Rishi, these ladies, they went to put their clothes on. They felt ashamed, and they hid themselves behind a tree. But Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they were so intoxicated, like because of their position, everything, and also drunk from alcohol. And then they were screaming, yelling at them, "Where have you gone?" Like calling the prostitutes. Oh, the saint came, and then started also insulting Narada Rishi, like swearing him, calling him names. Then Narada Rishi gave them a curse. You have to become a tree. And then later on they understood what happened, and then they fell on the feet of Narada asking for forgiveness. And then Narada said, okay, Krishna will come in Parayuga and he'll do pastimes, and then he'll deliver you. So Shukadeva Goswami told this story in the context of the Sambandha Lila, like how Krishna was tied to the grinding mortar. Although Krishna was bound by his mother, actually he could also free Nalakuvera and Manigriva, although he was bound. So by Shastra Gyan, knowledge of the scriptures, you cannot get Lord, attain to Lord. To attain to Lord, you need to follow bhakti. What is the nature of the soul? Krishna Prem. Actually, Swarupa Anubandhi Vritti means the spontaneous nature of the soul is to serve to God. Swarupa Anubandhi Vritti is a Sanskrit word. What did I say? Swarupa Anubandhi Vritti. The jiva has this. What is the Swarup nature of the soul? To be a servant of Krishna. So we are the eternal servants of Krishna. So our eternal nature is to serve to Him. Our inherent nature. Those jivas who don't serve to Krishna, actually they are not manifesting the spontaneous nature of their own hearts. So through service, the jiva manifests his Swarupagata Dharma, means the nature of his soul. So there are two kinds of service: Bopu-seva, Vapu-seva, and vani-seva. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he describes the special glory of vani-seva. What did I say? About vani-seva. This is called Brihat Mridanga Seva. So Seva is our Parama Dharma. Seva is our supreme Dharma. Like nobody saw when Param Guru Maharaj was chanting holy names or doing his practices, but he was to be always absorbed in the service of Prabhupada. So the Swarupagata Dharma means the spontaneous nature of the jiva is to serve to Bhagavan.
इसलिए यहाँ पर कहा जाता है क्या जीवन की स्वरूप अनुबंधी वृत्ति.
So the Swarupa Anubandhi Vritti means the spontaneous nature of the soul. Inherent spontaneous nature of the soul.
जिसको कहा जाता है फिर कहा जाता है कृष्ण सुखैक तात्पर्यमयी. So
Krishna Swarupa Tatparjamayi Krishna Seva means to serve Krishna only for his happiness. Every time, always, this jiva is only thinking how Krishna can be happy and serve him accordingly. Actually, the devotees of all different rasas, they are just thinking how Krishna can be happy. So we see the superiority of the gopis in this case.
कृष्ण सुख के लिए गोपियां जो समस्त प्रकार
So gopis, whatever they do is only for Krishna's happiness. Sometimes the gopis become angry with Krishna. Why? For his happiness only. There's no other reason. The gopis, they are in man and they call me many names, like they swear me, like calling me many bad names, and I'm happy. Krishna says, I'm not as happy like this, even if I listen the glorification of the Vedas. Like when I listen the gopis calling me names, swearing me, calling me many names, I feel so happy, because actually they have so much love for me. Because if you love someone, have prem. If somebody loves you, whatever that person does, you like it. Isn't it good or not? Even if the person swears you, like calling you names, you like it. Even the person speaks affectionately towards you, you also like. So the gopis, they call Krishna thief, devotee, other words. No devotee, no any other devotee can use this kind of words to Krishna. They don't use, but the gopis, yes, they use all these words to Krishna. Why? Because the gopis, they are the topmost devotees of Krishna. And for the happiness of Krishna, for the happiness of Krishna, gopis, they do everything. I mean, everything they do is for his happiness. That's why the last sloka of Gopi Gita, the gopis are thinking about the feet of Krishna putting on their chest. So actually, because they only think about Krishna's happiness, not their own. So here one Siddhanta is given.
संबंध ज्ञान के द्वारा विकसित कराना.
So the service.
कृष्ण क्या है?
Okay, Krishna is Sevya. Sevya means he is the worshipful deity, she is served. And the jiva is Sevaka means he is the servant. So the duty or the nature of the Sevaka is to do Seva, service. And by this service, the sambandha-jnana, knowledge of the relationship, will manifest. One example is given. Example of Hanuman. I can make clear. We can understand with the example of Hanuman. Hanuman, he always thinks about himself. He thinks, I am the Sevaka, means the servant of Lord Ram. I'm Kinkar. Kinkar, this word, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Aham
kinkarami means what can I do? What can I do to serve him? How can I serve to God? The meaning of servant kinkar is like this. What can I do to serve? So day and night he's absorbed in service of Lord Ram. Still he's not happy enough. He wants to serve more and more. So this seva vritti, when it will come to us? When we have the sambandha-jnana, knowledge of relationship. So the more you have the knowledge of relationship in your heart, the more you have the sambandha-jnana in your heart, the more you have the eagerness to serve. And you always think about the happiness of your Ishtadeva. So Hanuman, he is kinkar, like servant, because he's always thinking, aham kinkarami, what can I do? How can I serve? This is the speciality of Hanumanji.
Even
though the sambandha-jnana has manifested, so when the sambandha-jnana manifests, then the prema also manifests, which is the tendency, the nature of the soul. So swarupa-gata vritti means that inherent, like natural tendency of that soul is to serve the Lord, and by that service sambandha-jnana manifests. And then when sambandha-jnana manifests, then the person has desire to serve, like eagerness to serve. So seva brings the seva makes the relationship with the Sevya Vasta who you're serving arise. And then when the sambandha-jnana arises, then actually you can really actually then serve your Sevya Vasta, means the person you're serving. Interesting, no? So mukti, in mukti there's no seva vritti. In liberation there's no tendency to serve. That's why you should give up mukti. So the Advaitavadis, they want mukti, liberation, but what is this? Actually, what is mukti? There are many definitions of mukti actually. For example, this one, Vishnu Angri Labda Mukti, means to attain the feet of Vishnu, Lord, is also mukti, one kind of liberation, you can say so. Also, if you give up all other, if you give up everything and just actually you are immersed in service to the Lord in your own swarup of your soul, this is also mukti, liberation.
Mukti sukham kusitam bhagavat prema grinnan. अर्थात मुक्ति सुख त्याग दे करके एकमात्र भगवत प्रेम प्राप्ति ही मुक्ति का है.
Also to give up the happiness of liberation and only get the prema to Lord, it is also mukti, liberation. Actually, who gives mukti is Bhagavan Mukunda. That's why one of the names of Krishna is Mukunda, one who gives mukti. Mukunda means his face is just very beautiful, just like the flower Kunda. So that's why his name is Mukunda. Kunda, one kind of flower. His face is beautiful as this flower, Kunda, Pushpa, flower Kunda.
समंदज्ञान उदित होने पर तब वो यथार्थ जो है सिर्फ वस्तु की
Sambandha-jnana appears, then really you can serve your Ishtadeva. For example, after marriage, after the wedding ceremony, then there's a relationship between the bride and bridegroom. What is the relationship? Have you married? So after the wedding, then they have the relationship of wife and husband. So what is the relationship? Wife and husband. Direct. No, it's simple. So before the wedding ceremony, what was their relationship? No relationship they had. But the brahmana, the brahmana performs the wedding ceremony, and then after the wedding, they have this established relationship, wife and husband. So from this sambandha, then they have this seva-vritti. Then they start serving each other. Then they have this tendency to serve each other after the wedding. Oh, he's my wife. Sorry, she's my wife. He's my husband. So they start having this relationship towards one another. Understand? So you should get married. Without marriage or like wedding ceremony, you cannot attain to Lord. You have to get married. But you have to marry to whom? To Bhagavan. Because with this wedding ceremony or this marriage, then the relationship will come.
Give up the mundane conception.
If you give up your mundane conception, then you understand what I'm saying. So I give the example that without wedding, you cannot have the sambandha-jnana between wife and husband. After wedding, then they have the sambandha-jnana. He's my wife, she's my wife, he's my husband. Then you have the service, like you start serving one another. For example, Rukmini Satyabhama, they got married to Krishna. So they have the relationship of wife and husband with him, and they serve him like this. Understand? So the fruit of the service is to attain prema. But the gopis, they have this transcendental paramore mood, parakya bhav. To understand this is very difficult actually. Rukmini Satyabhama, they got married to Krishna, following all the rules and injunctions of the scriptures. After the wedding, so they have this tendency to serve one another. And the fruit of the service is that prema, they will attain prema. They will attain prema. But in this material world, what happens? They get sons and daughters. After the wedding, everybody wants what? What does everybody want? Why do people get married? Why? To get kids, like to have kids. But after having kids in this world, you feel unhappiness actually. You get unhappiness after having kids. Isn't it? You feel unhappiness or not after having kids? Actually, you get a little bit happiness. Looks like you're feeling a little bit happiness. I'm not saying there's no happiness. I'm not saying there's no happiness in this world and in family life. There is, but very insignificant happiness. Actually, you're just enjoying your senses, like satisfying your senses a little bit. And this happiness is very insignificant, little bit. One example, like for example, imagine if you're digging a mountain and digging, and only you find one rat. So you did, example, this means you get so much, you do so much austerity and sacrifice and so many things sacrifice, and you get only a little bit happiness. But in bhakti, it's only happiness and happiness. That's why the shloka explains, "Oh Prince, you should live long life. Oh Prince, son of the king, you should live long life. Hey Prince, you should live for a long time, like eternally, like you should live a lot." Then they said, it's like some phrases, some Gurudev will explain. So what is that shloka? Rishiputra, the son of a rishi, you should not live, also not die. I forgot the shloka now. Many days I haven't discussed about this, so I forgot. So, Prince, son of king, you should live a lot. Why? Because you did so much punya in previous life. That's why now you became a prince. So you live a long life. Like, and the son of a rishi, don't die, also don't live. Means Oh Rishi, you do so much hard austerities. When your austerity is finished, then you get happiness. So what is the last? But the hunter, oh hunter, you're so cruel. So don't die, don't live. Actually, live and die for you is same, both are useless. So you not get happiness in this world, and also after life, also you not get happiness, only suffering. But the devotees of Lord, what do they say? This is only for normal people, these examples. For the devotee of Lord, even alive or after the death, he's only happy always. Do you understand? If you become a devotee, you always get nice food, isn't it? You see, the saints only sitting down, they already get so easily whatever you get by doing hard work in the material life. Still, people don't want to become a sadhu. This is so amazing. You just sit down with a book. Even if you don't have a book, no problem. Just sit down. Just put japamala in your mouth, in your hand, and you see the result, isn't it? Oh Maharaj, how can I serve you, Maharaj? It's cold, let me buy you a sweater. Oh, I already have a sweater. No, I want to give you one more. Why people give? Because people want to serve the saints. So one poor person cannot maintain his family. They don't have clothes, they don't have nothing. They have nothing, isn't it? But the sadhus, they don't do anything, and the sadhu even doesn't want to take their gifts from anyone, but still people give them forcefully gifts, isn't it? Is it true or not? So why people don't want to become saints? Why people don't want to become sadhu? I'm asking. Some people have jealousy, like some jealousy person. They say, why the sadhus have so much money? How come? Why the sadhus, they have so much delicious things and enjoying, so like looks like they enjoying. Like why the sadhus eating so much nice food? Normal people might think like that. Their answer to this question, Prabhupada used to say, if there's some servants in the house of the king, the servants in the house of the king, the palace, also will get nice food or not? Yes. And other person might see that and feel jealousy, but what to do? What to do? So, in the house of a king or a wealthy person, every day there's a nice feast and food. And this king or a wealthy person, like this king, he leaves his remnants to his servants, isn't it? He gives. So, for other persons it might be very difficult to attain that, like this kind of food. But if you work in the house of a king or the palace, if you serve, very easily you can get all these delicious foods. So who is our king? Is Bhagavan Krishna. He's the king. So if you take shelter of Krishna, then you can get all these things easily. What is the problem? Do you understand? What did I say? Tell me. So those who serve the king also, they get the same facilities and enjoyments of the king, a little bit. So God is the king of all the universes. So of course you'll have some enjoyments and like bhoga, like delicious food. So the devotees offer delicious foods to Lord. Of course, He is Lord. Seeing this, some jealousy people say, we don't get this kind of food. We don't get this such nice food. Oh yeah, so you also come here also. You should also leave everything and come here to live in the palace of Lord, but you don't want. Okay, if I come husband and wife together. What is the meaning? You want the happiness of material life and material world and family, at the same time you want prema. How possible? No, give up. This is the difference between Grihastha and Mandir. Many people don't understand this difference. People who have less intelligence, they don't understand. Actually, the Mandir and the Grihastha house is one thing, actually, same. There's only one difference in the Mandir. The wife is not in the Mandir. Everything else is also there. How many cows do you have? The saints also, they have so many cows, isn't it? So if you have cows, you have cows? No? But the saints also, they have so many cows. Maybe you have a car, and also the saints also might have a car. Car. Or maybe you don't have a car, but a saint has a car. Why? Because the saint is using this car to serve Lord. Like Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada even said, if I had money, I would buy an airplane. And I would go very quickly from one side to the other side of the world and preach the message of Lord. So the saints, whatever there is, the saints, they might have, and they used to serve to Lord actually. But you are using these things for your own enjoyment. This is the only difference. There's no other difference. Okay, let's continue the katha. From here, begin. Ramananda is saying what? If you follow Varnashram Dharma, Vishnu will be pleased. 8:30, tomorrow we continue. So what is the duty of the jivas? Is to serve Vishnu. To worship other demigods and demigoddesses actually is not real bhakti, not devotion, because the nature of the soul is to serve Krishna, Vishnu. Understand? Not other demigods and demigoddesses. For example, some people are Sakta, means they worship Shakti like Durga, etc. So they are called Shakta. Those who worship Shiva, they are called Shaiva or Shaiva. Those who worship Surya, they are called Saura. They worship Surya. Those who worship Shiva, they are called Shaiva. Those who worship Surya, the sun god, they are called Saurya. But those who worship Vishnu, they are called Vaishnava. Okay, this is Panchopasak, 5 kinds of worship. Which ones? What is the Panchopasak? The Shiva, Shakta. Those who worship Ganesha are called Ganapata. Okay, so Shiva worship Shiva, Shakta worship Shakti Durga, Ganapata worship Ganesha, Saura worship Surya, and Vishnu. The Vaishnavas worship Vishnu. She's asking about the Krishna, I think. Those who worship Krishna. Actually, Vishnu and Krishna are same. Understand? Okay, so except for these other 4, actually the nature of the soul is only to worship Vishnu. Why? It's not our goal to worship Shiva, because it is not the nature of the soul. The Dharma, the nature of the soul is to serve Bhagavan. Do you understand? If we don't serve Bhagavan, then we'll never be happy. Peace, in peace. We'll never be in peace. So this is the thing. Actually, So the Shuddha Jivatma means our pure soul, the soul in pure state, is not Shaiva, worship of Shiva, not Surya, worship of Surya, not Shakta, worship of Shakti. But because of Manodharma means material minds, we think that we worship this and that, demigod, demigoddess, but this is actually not the nature of the soul. So the nature of the soul is to Krishna Nityadas, eternal servant of Krishna. So Krishna, Vishnu, Krishna is same. So because God has many names, Krishna is one of his names, Vishnu also. So this is just like Agni, fire, and the spark of the fire. They have the same nature. So what is the nature of the fire? To burn. And the spark of the fire came from the fire, right? And the spark of the fire also can burn everything. Can also burn. For example, when you cut some piece of iron, you see some sparks of fire coming out. If you saw some piece of iron, they also have the potency to burn. How? You can see, just put some petrol, like some inflammable liquid nearby, and the spark of the fire can start a big fire, because it also has the same potency of the fire. So why I'm saying this? In Gita, Bhagavan said, Mama Vamsha Jivaluka, the jivas are my part and parcel, and eternal and transcendental. The jiva is always a part and parcel of Lord. So amsha, two kinds of amsha, parts and parcel. Swamsha and Vibhinamsha. So all of the avatars of God, they are called Swamsha, means the avatars Swamsha. But the Jiva Shakti, so these living entities who came from Jiva Shakti, this potency of Lord, they are called Vibhinamsha. They are separate expansions. Okay, so the Jiva is what? I just told. Vibhinamsha. So the Jiva is Vibhinamsha. So what is the nature of the Vibhinamsha Shakti? Is to serve to Lord. The Jiva is eternal, and his Dharma is also eternal. His nature is also eternal. So what is the pure nature of the soul? This is also eternal nature. Which nature? To serve their Ishtadeva, Bhagavan Vishnu. This Atma is inside us now. So that's why we should wake up our soul. Wake up and get this prema from the pure devotee. This path of bhakti is as sharp as a razor blade. Wake up. Wake up your soul. You don't need to do anything else. Just like a lion is in a cage, sleeping. So, if you want to see how ferocious is the lion, you have to wake him up, right? Because if the lion is sleeping, you cannot see the power of the lion. How to see the influence, like the power, the prowess, the ferocity of the lion? You have to take him out of the cage. So what is the meaning? The Swarupagat Dharma means the nature of the soul is to serve God. But we are like in the cage of Maya. Actually, we are in the cage of this body. This body is like a cage. So our soul is inside this cage. So we have to come out. Take our soul out of this body. And that's why wake up your soul, wake him up. How? You're not the servant of Maya. You are the servant of Bhagavan. This is the preaching. In this Upanishad also this shloka. Wake up. Wake up your soul. How to wake up your soul? What is the how to wake up your soul? In Kali Yuga there is no other way, only one way. Do you understand? So try to remember this. Tomorrow I'll ask questions about this. What question? This Jiva is not Shiva, not worship of Shiva. Worshipper of Shiva. Who are you? You are the devotee of Vishnu actually. So you should wake this up, like wake up this nature of the soul. Wake it up. This Atma which is sleeping inside you. You should wake it up, wake him up. And how to wake him up? Wake up your soul. Mahaprabhu gave one way. Chanting holy names. Only by chanting holy names, only by holy names, the soul can be awakened. Wake him up. You should have the Shuddha Chittaman, means purifying mind. In your purifying heart and mind, then Bhagavan will sit. Your nature will be awakened. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha